Our focus here was really on looking at the table over there, had a very robust debate and discussion around smart manufacturing and digital twins, and how Gen AI has evolved, or is evolving rather, to look at augmenting the value that digital twins can actually give us in the manufacturing sector today. And one of the things that we decided to look at was, you know, how have these technologies evolved from the conceptual and theoretical to an actual practical application where you can look at the integration and the ethical issues that they pose, and more importantly, what skills do we need to be developing in the workforce, not just at the worker level, not just the line level, but also at the management level, so that you can actually articulate a common yardstick definition of value. Because as we all know, you can't transform unless you all align to a common definition of value. So what we saw was the starting point here was obviously about, does everybody really truly understand what a digital twin is? There's obviously been a lot of evolution over the last 30 or 40 years around what a digital twin is, what type of twin we're talking about. Twins are really, really good at representing a variety of different contexts. But while there is value in being able to model what we know today as current state in the past, the true intrinsic value of the twin is if we can then use Gen AI to unleash its ability to forecast and predict the future for us. But again, it's garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't have the foundational basics in place, if you don't have the foundational data platforms in place, have the structured way to think about what you're trying to do, how you have the guardrails in place for the experiments you're going to be unleashing across the organization, it can very quickly become a very expensive mess. There's a pointed question on the table. Where does innovation begin? And innovation truly does begin at any point, at anywhere in your organization. There is a healthy respect that needs to be held for citizen data scientists that are in the business. What is more important is making sure that you nurture and mentor that talent and marry it with the right technical data science expertise. So you've got data science expertise being married with domain expertise to really look at the problem and rationalize, are we talking about a problem? Are we talking about a symptom? Is there a case here for us to explore? And how do we do it and articulate the right sense of value back up the chain to management? There's also the notion of, if I model it, how do I then know what I'm looking at? Because when I walk into work every day, I'm not walking into a model. It's something tangible. I'm operating in an enterprise. I'm working on a process. How do I know what I'm seeing is true? And how do we look at that? That led to a very healthy, robust debate around bias, right? What are the causal bias? When are we changing things? And more importantly, whether it's Gen AI, whether it's AI ML, you need to be able to observe your models for decay. If you don't do that, really doesn't matter what you've put in place. Data quality doesn't really hold a chance either. Neither does master data management. We talked about the ethical concerns around job displacement. Is this leading to labor augmentation? Is this leading to labor replacement? What is it going to be doing for the workforce from the standpoint of the generational divide? We attempted to move away from the labels of Gen X and Y because we created a new subclass for ourselves, and we said, just talk about them in terms of younger or older demographics, right? Keep it simple, right? But what are the skills we're going to need to be training people on going forward? And overwhelmingly, we know that what we're seeing from a manufacturing component is perhaps a level set on the ratio of blue collar workers, white collar workers that we're seeing on the line today compared to anything we've ever seen before. And what does that mean for people on the line? That means that you need to now start thinking about training people on some more technical topics and start thinking outside of the box in terms of how you actually train them. On the job training is always going to be the force du jour. But how do you start implementing partnerships and platforms to augment people's learning? More importantly, how do you train your management workforce so that they understand how to talk to their technical workforce enough to know how to think about where the possibilities lie? In terms of the future of digital twins and what some future twins are going to be seeing, we identified that you're going to be seeing more autonomous, self-optimizing factories. That's what the digital factory of the future looks like. We're already seeing that divide globally from the standpoint of North and South with supply chains, global North, global South. You're seeing autonomous dark factories set up in China, where toy manufacturers can now become toilet paper manufacturers, right? And really disrupt your industry, competing not just on price, but beating you on quality at the same time in a modular way. And over time, you're going to start seeing advanced human AI collaboration at every step of everything that you do across your manufacturing lifecycle and chain. How do we learn from each other? Well, this room is a great example of that, right? You need to be thinking about adaptive learning. So with the models you have in your workplace, looking at your predictive analytics, looking at your prescriptive maintenance, it's no good just to model it, look at it, and then turn the computer off. You got to take that data, you have to train it, you need to build that into your assumptions and make sure that you are actually learning. Be devoid of any AI system, but you are actually learning that there are shifts and there are changes that have occurred. And the other aspect is really learning from other sectors. That's where attending forums like this one help give you that diversity and breadth of viewpoint to say, hey, how are you guys dealing with this? What have you seen? Establishing a peer network is second to none in terms of really understanding where those prescriptive challenges are. That was it. Thank you.